To give his insights on the latest inflation print and his forecast for the rest of the year, we have RCBC Chief Economist Mike Ricafort live via Zoom. Good morning, Sir Mike.
Hi, good morning, Diego, and to all your viewers.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. And then let's get right to it. Sir, what do you think are the main factors that contributed to the easing of inflation for July?
Diego, largely due to higher base or denominator effects
Mhm.
because prices a year ago, especially oil and other petroleum products, were much higher in the aftermath of the Russia-Ukraine war. So we expect that year-on-year inflation also to continue easing in the coming months, precisely because of that. But it does mean that. Well, there are still price increases, yes,
Yes.
but the pace of year-on-year increase in prices and overall inflation is still expected to slow down as a result.
Yes, sir. And the question is, will the easing continue given that there is a looming global rice shortage, though the DA denied that there is a shortage in the country currently?
Well, that's right, Diego. The trend has been, as they call it, disinflation trend.
Mhm.
We came from a 14-year high of 8.7% last January, and now we're finally at a new one-year low of 4.7%, meaning the accelerate. Well, we have seen some slower acceleration in the prices of goods and services in our
Mhm.
economy, but nonetheless, there are still price increases, as you have pointed out.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to contend with first the minimum wages were increased in Metro Manila,
Mhm.
non-agricultural workers at 7% or 40 pesos per day, effective July 16, 2023. So there may be some second round inflation effects,
Mhm.
meaning the prices of other affected goods and services may also adjust higher as a result,
Mhm.
similar to what we have seen a year ago, although by a lesser extent. And secondly, we have the storm damage just recently,
Yeah.
maybe for the past 1 to 2 weeks, that have resulted in higher prices of vegetables, food, and other agricultural products, because we all know that food accounts for the largest part of the inflation basket. And
Yes. Yes.
we have also seen the increase in the price of rice locally as well as in the region, coming from two year highs in Asia. So, rice is also an important component of the inflation basket, accounting for nearly 10%
Yeah.
weight. So, um, so we have yet to see the effects of those, and also, of course, also an important development lately,
Mm.
has been the increase in global crude oil prices
Yes.
to the highest in more than 3.5 months. We have seen also, correspondingly, the increase in fuel pump prices. So, at the very least, we may see the slowing of the disinflation process, meaning, yeah, the trend is still for slower inflation rate year on year, but all these factors could slow down. But we're still optimistic though.
Okay.
For the rest of the quarter, uh, 4% levels would still likely be sustained, and for the fourth quarter, it's possible for us to, actually, as low as 3 to 4% levels by the fourth quarter, meaning uh, especially by November to December, that inflation would possibly go down already to below the upper end of the inflation target of the BSP of 2 to 4%, meaning
Yes.
already below 4% by November to December.
You said no. I just like to clarify, sir. The target of Banco Central that 2 to 4% average can be achieved.
Yeah, it is, Jago.
Okay.
Despite all these challenges. In fact, there's even one factor that we have to contend with as well,
Mhm.
the risk of El Nino. That's
Yes,
in the
that's right.
fourth quarter of this year to early part of next year. Uh, by next year, yeah, even if there's, while the impact of El Nino, there would be reduced rainfall, uh, drought, and that would correspondingly reduce the output for rice production and other agricultural production. If you have less output, less supplies locally,
Yes.
that would mean some uptick in prices, coupled also with externalities that are beyond our control, such as the decision by India to reduce its some of its cheaper rice
Yes, that's right.
exports.
That's right.
That would reduce global supplies, and that partly led to the higher world and Asian prices of rice recent days and weeks. So, but nonetheless, because of the base effect, though, the higher base, higher denominator, well, knowing for a fact that the peak was in January of this year at 8.7%, the lowest or rather the slowest for inflation, we may see that in the first quarter of next year, right?
Okay.
Around January, especially. Where there's that possibility of seeing inflation even below 2%, and for the rest of the first quarter of next year, around 2%, and that would be the lowest. And thereafter, the inflation base would start to normalize, and we may already see the diminishing base effects, and we would already also see inflation moving towards 3 to 3.5% in the latter part of 2024, though that's still within the BSP's
Yes, that's
inflation
right.
target of 2 to 4%.
Well, we're hoping for that. But the Monetary Board is set to meet on August 17 to discuss policy rates. Do you think the policy pause will continue?
Well, it's a possibility, Diego, but considering the fact that the signals have been clear and have been reiterated that the policy choice is either a hike to match the Fed's latest 25 basis point hike last July 26, or a pause, as has been signaled also by most, if not all, of the economic team members of the country. So, yeah, even that's consistent with the signaling also with the Federal Reserve. Fed officials also being clear that there won't be any cut yet for the rest of the year. And there's then suggesting also the possibility of a pause, because the markets are still pricing in lately, or even past maybe 1 to 2 weeks at least. Well, there's still a possible pause in Fed rates for the rest of the year, and there's the chance that the last one that we saw last week there's a possibility that that could already be the last. So, but of course, locally there are other things to consider. Come August 17, if the peso is relatively stable, then that would support a possible pause. But of course, since the interest differential right now between the Fed funds rate and the BSP key overnight borrowing rate is down to 75 basis points. That's the narrowest in recent memory. We haven't really seen that tight spread for very long. Actually, so meaning there's a need to maintain. If there's a need to maintain healthy interest rate differentials to help stabilize the peso and overall inflation, if necessary. So, yeah, a pause would still be possible by the time that policymakers meet on August 17th. So therefore, it's a toss-up between matching the latest Fed rate hike of 25 basis points or pausing and maintaining the current interest differential, which is already relatively narrow. But then, nonetheless, it's largely a function of how the peso behaves going forward.
Yes,
and
and
determine that decision.
we'll definitely monitor that. And thank you very much, sir, for your insights. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much. And that was RCBC Chief Economist, Mike Ricafort.
Thank you so much, Diego, and to your viewers.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.